Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dai, and today I'm bringing you my TBR for the Haunted 24-Hour Manga Readathon. I am co-hosting this readathon with Jesse's Cave and Tony's Manga, so definitely check out their announcement videos down in the description box below. But this readathon is happening this weekend, October 15th through the 18th. So the goal for this readathon is to read for 24 hours total, sometime during those 4 days. So I have a kind of pile of possibilities, if you will. I have about 36 volumes here to show you. I'm definitely not going to be able to get through them all, but I figure if I read roughly 24 volumes, I should be pretty close to that 24-hour mark. Of course, that all depends on the size of the manga, how heavy the storyline is, and things like that. I will still be keeping a timer so that I know where I am during the weekend, but I've put these titles on my list, and of course I have many others that I could possibly throw in should I get through all of these, but I highly doubt that I will. So let's just go through them really fast. I'm not going to go into very much detail about each series that I talk about, just to keep this video a little bit more concise. But first off, the 4 volumes that I absolutely will have to read are my 4 volumes for the Monochrome Manga Club. The Monochrome Manga Club is the title of the manga club that I'm using to talk about the volumes that we read for my In Real Life Manga Club. My In Real Life Manga Club is not called the Monochrome Manga Club because it is affiliated with Barnes & Noble. I'm using the header Monochrome Manga Club in order to talk about them on my channel. But we do have 2 first in a series selections every month, and then we've recently started a series read. So the 2 volumes that are first in a series that we will be reading for October are Cervant Volume 1. This is by Strike Tanaka, published by 7 Seas, rated teen, about a boy who likes to keep things simple. Then he meets a cat. The cat turns out to be a vampire, and then his life turns complicated. And then our next volume is going to be Volume 1 of Toilet Bound Hanako Kun. This is by Ayatsuji Art, published by Yen Press and rated teen. This one is a story based on the urban legend of Hanako, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that. Then for our series read, we are reading volumes 3 and 4 of Parasite by Hitoshi Iwaaki, and so we are continuing on with that. I have digital copies of this through my Humble Bundle, so I will be reading those digitally. Next up, I have volumes 1 through 7 of Phantom Tales of the Night. There are so many volumes here I can't really fan them out, but there are 7 volumes here in my hand. This is by Matsuri, rated older teen, published by Yen Press. We read volume 1 for the manga club a couple years ago. I really enjoyed it. It's about our innkeeper, who is this character here on the cover, and he trades sanctuary for secrets. And so I'm really looking forward to experiencing more of this series. It is one that I read volume 1 for the club, really enjoyed it, picked up more volumes, and haven't read any of them since. This one's really episodic, so it's going to be really easy to jump in and out of, but I'm a little bit weary about doing that because there is an underlying storyline that runs through. At least it did for the first volume. I presume that continues in subsequent volumes. So yeah, this is definitely a possibility for the weekend. Next up, I have Haunted House. This one is by Mitsukazu Mihara. This one is published by Tokyo Pop and is rated older teen. This is a one-shot that I had picked up at Book Off a few years ago, and it's about a guy who is trying to find himself, but his family is frighteningly flamboyant, is what it says, and they scare away every girl that he brings home. But he wonders if there could be something more to the way they act than just them scaring away people. And this one is classified as a comedy horror. So yeah, I thought it would be interesting. Haunted House. definitely a possibility for the weekend, especially because it's a one-shot, which is something that I don't have very many of in my collection. This would be an easy one to just pick up over the weekend. I have volumes 1 through 6 of Vampire Doll. I'm only holding up volume 1 right here. This one is by Erika Kari and is rated teen. This one is about a vampire aristocrat named Giltnazan, and he is sealed into a cross for more than 100 years. He's released by a powerful exorcist, but when he's released, he gets like put into the body of a female doll, and so that kind of causes some hijinks. This is also classified as horror comedy. I have read 5 volumes of this series, but I haven't read the last one, and it's been a while since I've read it, but I do remember really enjoying seeing how Giltnazan goes about with daily life things in the body of this female doll, and there's a lot of mystery elements to this one, which is also something that appeals to me a lot. And so I'm really looking forward to re-experiencing this series in its entirety, because I will be reading the entirety of the series, and seeing what I think now that it's been a few years since I've read it. I do have the rest of the volumes right here, you can see. So yes, I will be restarting this series over and rereading it. This is definitely one that's high up on my priority list for the weekend. Next up, I have volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Ghost Diary. This one is by Seiju Natsumegu, published by 7 Seas and rated teen. This one follows a boy who is an exorcist, and his older sister is also an exorcist, but when the brother angers a god, the older sister goes missing, and so he's trying to find her. He meets a Grim Reaper who claims to be his older sister's friend. So she ends up promising to tell Kyoichi, who is the brother, what she knows if Kyoichi will help her get back her lost memories. And so to do this, they need to complete the Ghost Diary, which is a notebook that belongs to his older sister, with knowledge on defeating any supernatural being. So this is complete in these 3 series. It's one that I've had on my shelf for a while, and I just haven't gotten into it. I'm not sure why, because the premises definitely sounds interesting. The art style is very appealing to me, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this one. I have volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Miyarukochan. This one is by Tomoki Izumi, published by Yen Press and rated older teen. This one is about a girl who can see ghosts or hideous monsters and things of that nature. This one, I believe, is coming out in an anime form sometime soon. Not quite sure when, but this one definitely caught my eye because of the supernatural element. You can see in her eyes that there is like a skull, I think. And yeah, very intrigued about this series. I'm looking forward to getting into it. Next up, I have volumes 17 through 22 of Blue Exorcist by Kazue Kato. This one is published by Viz and is rated older teen. This one follows a son of Satan named Rin, and he grew up not knowing that he was a son of Satan until something happens to his guardian, and then he vows to defeat Satan. In order to do that, he gets enrolled into this school for exorcists. He also has a twin brother who actually is a bit further advanced than he is. He's been at that school for a while. So this one follows Rin kind of learning the ins and outs of becoming an exorcist and trying to get to his main goal, but also dealing with different things along the way involving making friends and how those people that he goes to school with perceive him once they find out that he is the son of Satan and things like that. I am really enjoying this series. I am way past where the story, the anime shows, is in this series. So everything I've been reading lately has been new material to me, and I'm just really enjoying the journey. And yeah, I have 6 volumes here. We've been slowly collecting it and adding it to our collection because we knew pretty early on this was going to be one that we wanted to have in our collection. So we just started purchasing from where we needed to start reading again from. So prior to this, we had read all of the volumes from our library. So eventually I'll go back and get the first 16 volumes. But until then, I have these, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next up, I have volumes 1 through 4 of Call of the Night by Kotoyama. This one is published by Viz and is rated older teen. I just got volume 4 in the mail the other day. It came just in time for the readathon, but this one I do have a series first impressions video on my channel for volume 1. So in case you're interested in hearing my thoughts on that, definitely check out the link down in the description box below. Basically, this story follows a teenager who has insomnia and decides to venture out in the world at night since he's got nothing better to do. And when he does that, he ends up meeting a vampire and ends up making a deal with her. So I really enjoyed volume 1. I'm looking forward to seeing where this story goes. And so yes, really loving how colorful these covers are too. But definitely a high priority for this weekend, I would say, because it's been a while since I've read the first volume and I just really want to see what else happens in this series. I've got one more one-shot here. This is Heaven's Will by Satoru Takamiya. This one is complete in one volume, published by Viz and is rated teen. This one follows a girl who has the ability to see ghosts, and because she can see ghosts, she is a magnet for all of these ghosts. So then she meets a cross-dressing exorcist, and they get into a deal with each other where he needs to practice his exorcist skills. She needs him to protect her from all of these ghosts, and so they team up to help each other. This one is from Shoujo Beat, and it does say in the back here, the US debut of the popular teen goth romance, so I presume there's some romance here. But I've also had this one in my collection for a while, and I really should get to it, and so definitely will be doing that this weekend. Finally, I have my last 2 thicker volumes. The first of those is Ibizu. This one is by Haruto Ryo, published by Yen Press, and is rated mature. This one follows a gothic Lolita dressing girl who appears at the local garbage dumps, asks passerbys the question, would you like to have a little sister? And to replies to seal one's fate and meet a diabolical death at the hands of none other than this twisted sister. And tonight another man will fall prey to the horror. This is one that I have been looking at for a very long time. I finally acquired it for my collection, I believe it was last month. So I'm really looking forward to reading this, and definitely will be doing that this weekend. Last but not least, I have another. This one is by Yukito Ayatsuji, art by Hiro Kiyohara. This one is published by Yen Press and is rated older teen. This one is a ghost story, I believe. This one follows a boy who transfers to a new middle school, but his class has a horrible secret. Is unsettled by his fearful classmates, but despite this and the warnings from fellow students, he's drawn to a beautiful distant girl who is another classmate. But the closer he gets to her, the more mysterious she and their class become. And when a fellow student dies a disturbing death, the first of a long chain of deaths, he seeks to learn the truth behind the curse of third year class 3. But can he get the answers before the curse kills him? So this has been one that I have had on my list to read for quite a while. Several years, in fact. And every year around this time I say I'm going to read it, I'm going to read it, I'm going to read it, and I never do. So this will be the year that I read this. It is rather thick. This is a complete story in this volume. I actually also have this story in the light novel. So there's 2 different light novels kind of based on this storyline, I think. And so I haven't read those either. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this. I did try to watch the anime a couple years ago. Watched the first episode, really was intrigued, but I thought I better stop watching because if I had watched the whole thing, I would have skimmed through this. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one this weekend. So that is everything I have set aside to read during the Haunted 24-Hour Manga Readathon. If I manage to get through all of that, or if I find that I don't really have a want to read any of the things in the pile, which could happen because I'm a mood reader, but I don't think it will. In any case, I have several other things on my shelves that I could read. Like you could see here, I have Devil's Line, which is a vampire story. I have Spirit Circle, which I believe is also supernatural in nature. I have Demon Prince of Momochi House, which also deals with yokai. On the shelf that I have behind this, I also have A Terrified Teacher at Ghoul School. So I have a lot of things that I could pull from during the weekend, so I am not going to be in need of any additional reading materials. So I just need to make sure that I buckle down and read through this stack during the weekend. Let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of the mangas that I showed today and what you thought of them. But please, no spoilers. Also, let me know if you're going to be participating in the readathon. I would love to have you join us. Even if you can't read for 24 hours total, if you could just pick up a couple of volumes here and there over the weekend, that would be great. I will be available on all of my social media sites throughout the day, so definitely keep in touch with me. Tag me in any posts to let me know what you're reading, if you're joining us. And yeah, so that will pretty much do it for me today. If you've made it to this point of the video and would just like to let me know that you are here, if you could just leave me a jack-o'-lantern emoji down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And I hope to hear from you this weekend. Have a great time reading manga, everybody, and I will talk to you later. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.